Well, it's that time of year again. Happy holidays and welcome back to my year-end review of all of my favorite synths and music gear of 2024. If you're new around here, every year I like to take a moment to informally talk about all of the amazing new synths, music gear, pedals, and more that impacted me as a music maker and that I had the most fun with over the year on the channel. However, this year I'm going to do things a little differently. I'm going to give you my top 5 favorite pieces of music gear that were released in 2024, and then I'm also going to mention for the first time my favorite plugin of 2024. Finally, I'm going to end off with a live ambient synth performance highlighting a bunch of my favorite gear that I really connected with this year as well. If you're new around here, welcome to my channel. My name is Miles Away. For everyone else, welcome back. Grab an eggnog, a Bailey's coffee, a beverage of your choice, and make sure to let me know in the comments what your favorite gear and synths are of 2024. Let's get started. Starting off with the earliest release of the year, the Walrus Maracai started 2024 with an absolute bang. Now, I've had the honor of reviewing a ton of amazing pedals on the channel, and rarely does one so quickly take over my workflow and become a core part of the Miles Away sound. But that's literally exactly what happened with the Maracai. I use it on every single track, and I've got a really exciting new record coming this year that the Maracai is all over, so keep an ear out for that. There's seriously nothing else that sounds like it that's true stereo, true analog, and it pairs perfectly with literally anything from synthesizers, keyboards, guitars, voice. It's a masterpiece of a pedal. Next up, the Percons Black from Erica Synths. Now, I know technically the Percons originally came out in a previous year, but the Black Edition is new for 2024. And let me just say, as someone who has traditionally shied away from drum machines because, let's be honest, I love the power and flexibility of doing my drums inside Logic, inside the DAW, the Percons completely won me over and is now easily one of my favorite pieces of gear I own in the studio, and easily my favorite thing Erica Synths have ever put out. It truly is everything I love about tactile analog hardware synths, paired with everything I love about digital, harsh, destructive, industrial drums. It really is the perfect drum machine for me, and I've used it a ton, and I look forward to using it more in 2025. Next up, I have a tie between two similar yet very different effects pedals that blew me away for different reasons. The Chase Bliss Clean and the Polysynth Press. Now, it seems like only recently, the idea of a stereo analog compressor that was geared towards being able to take everything from instrument level to synth and line level flawlessly with tons of extra goodies and a really great price point seemed like a distant dream, but honestly, the Chase Bliss Clean and the Polysynth Press blew my mind, and the fact that they came out within a couple months of each other is pretty funny. Now, I've actually got a video on the Chase Bliss Clean coming soon. I bought it with my own money and I'm frankly blown away by it, so stay tuned with that soon. And the Poly Press I did also already cover on the channel. So either way, these are both two fantastic pedals that are going to see a ton of use both in studio and when I go back to playing live shows. All right, so I've got this beautiful pattern here on the Korg Minilog XD going into this mono Walrus Fable granular pedal. Sounds gorgeous, right? But it's mono. That's where the clean comes in. Now, clean is not just any old stereo compressor. If I enable it right now, we're actually getting really beautiful, natural stereo movement that doesn't phase out of clean. I can do the same thing with the EQ. Look at that, we've turned this into almost a Moog Matriarch style stereo filter. And that's just one thing. Let's enable the physics for some really cool erratic, randomized movement of the threshold across the different stereo fields. We can play with the attack and release and get really fast movement. Next up on the list, the synth that many of you probably thought was going into first place, the Oberheim TE-05. Now, the Oberheim TE-05, I've spoken about it a ton on this channel, but it is truly a resounding success for Oberheim and Sequential. It takes everything I love about the OBX8 and that classic Oberheim sound and brings it into the 21st century at a really affordable price point with great features like TZ-FM, a mod matrix, solid effects, including a way better reverb than I was expecting, and frankly, it was one of the most surprising synths of 2024. In full transparency, because I always want to be honest with you guys, I am going to be selling it to fund a new synth purchase on the channel, Super Gemini, but I have deeply enjoyed my time with the TE-05, and it's easily, in my opinion, the #1 synth I would recommend in that price range that's still made. I'd still probably take a Korg Prologue over the TE-05, but those are getting harder to find, so awesome if you own one. Before I reveal my #1 pick for 2024, firstly, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching my videos over the year. It's been really, mind-blowingly cool watching this channel grow and watching this community grow, because at the end of the day, I really value that this is a place for people who love synthesizers as much as I do to talk about them, to ask for recommendations, and I really do appreciate all the comments, even some of the mean ones from that Behringer video, which I think some people frankly misunderstood. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being a part of this community. Now, before I reveal my #1 pick for music gear this year, I wanted to take a moment to talk about my new category, which is my favorite effects plugin or VST of the year. And for that, I'm gonna give it to OEK Sound Bloom. Now, those of you who know my channel know I'm a huge fan of OEK Sound Soothe. In fact, I've probably converted a lot of you to using it. It's great, it's on every single track I make. But at the same time, I hadn't really paid attention to OEK Sound Bloom, their new plugin, until recently. Let me show you why I think it's my favorite plugin of the year. So I've got this track and it needs mix work. Let's start with the guitar and bass synth bus. We'll enable Bloom. And already we're getting more clarity out of there, but I think we can push it even further by specifically controlling what each band is doing. Awesome, let's go ahead and clean up some of this low mid mud. And we'll do the same for the sideband. Somewhere around there sounds pretty good. Next, let's go to the vocals. Now dry, without Bloom, they sound like this. Oh, when the flood comes. They're nice, but they're missing that modern punch. Let's bring in Bloom. As you can see, it's a lot more energetic and even without losing any of the emotion in my vocals. Finally, let's use Bloom on the drum bus. Here's the drums without anything. and we'll bring in Bloom. It really just sometimes is that easy. It's a sound better button, and let's hear the mix with and without Bloom on any of the tracks.
Will you leave me when I needed you the most? Oh, when the flood comes.
Alright, and with that out of the way, my number one favorite piece of music gear of 2024 goes to the Elta Music Solar 42F. Now, the Solar 42F, if you haven't seen my video on it, it's probably the video I'm the most proud of this year because it truly is the synth that I got sucked into like an interstellar wormhole and came out the other side having spent hours and hours and hours learning it and playing it. And I think that's a testament to just how amazing the Solar 42 is. I feel so blessed that we are truly living in this second golden age of synths where products like the Solar 42F can actually be made. It's a flagship boutique ambient only drone synth. How cool is that? And it truly is connecting with people, including me. And for that reason, it is my number one favorite piece of music gear that was released this year. But I think it's really important also in the wave of all of these new releases to really dial back and appreciate what you do have and get to know your existing gear, your existing workflow better, because at the end of the day, that's why we do this. We do this to create art, to create music, to express ourselves after a long day, not just to grab new synths. And for that reason, I want to end off with a performance on my 3 synths that I probably spent the most time with this year, and I really fell a lot in love with. No, it's not the third wave. I know I've been using that and talking about that a lot, but actually it's this tower behind me. They're set up like that for a reason, and truly this has been a wonderfully inspiring place for me to create and write and work on my 3rd record, which I'm going to announce really soon. And for now, I just want to leave you with an ambient improvised live jam using the Matriarch OB6, OBX8 with some effects from the Walrus Meraki, Maris Mercury X, and going through some outboard gear behind me. Thank you so much for watching my videos this year. I will see you very soon. My name is Miles Away. Have a happy holidays and wonderful new year.